you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
The future.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
We'll start in 3 minutes.
Sarah, if you're listening, your site's working great now. Just letting you know.
Say again?
Oh, I was telling Sarah if she was listening, her site's working great.
Ah,
It wasn't working the other day, not like I thought it would.
okay. We'll start in just 2 minutes.
Anyone who remembers Fernando Malte, he's put out a book. You can look him up on LinkedIn.
He's a very intelligent man. Welcome, by the way, if you're watching. I'm going to start in 1 minute. So, yep, stay with us. Okay, I think we can start. I think we're able to start. First of all, welcome. I'm Len Bitopic, the Chair of Parliament of Asgardia, which is a great and continuing honour for me. That means that I serve the people you see on the screen by running these events. It is an honour because this organisation is the world's first fully functioning digital democracy and the most advanced online democracy in human history. It's very, very exciting to be here. And this is a big year because it's our 10th anniversary this year since Dr. Igor Ashur Bailey, who is the creator of Asgardia, the founder, and the head of nation, first imagined the idea, 12th of October 2010. That is the date of our 10th anniversary. What we're doing here today is opening the sitting of Parliament. I'll go through the details of that in just a moment. Basically, we open various aspects of the process today, but we don't actually do any business today. And usually, because we're efficient, it's quite short. Before we do that, though, let me invite our interpreters, as always, to share how you can listen in. And let's start with our Turkish interpreters. Greetings. I hope you're well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Öpik. It's always a pleasure to be here once again. Thank you.
Same here, same here.
Thank
I'm
you.
pleased to be working with you.
Thank you. Değerli Asgardia parlamenterleri, Asgardia 2. Parlamentosu'nun 12. oturumuna hoş geldiniz. Oturumların ilk günündeyiz. Yine tercümanlarınız Eren ve Alper size Türkçe ve İngilizce eş zamanlı olarak tercüme yapacaklar. Türkçe tercümeyi Zoom pencerenizin alt kısmındaki küre ikonuna tıklayarak seçebilirsiniz. Söz aldığınızda tercih ettiğiniz dilde konuşmanız yeterli olacaktır. Sizin tüm söyledikleriniz diğer dillere anında çevrilecektir. Hepinize verimli oturumlar dileriz. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's move on to our Russian interpreters next, please. I think the Russian interpreter is ready, so let's go there next.
Hello, Mr. Opik. Can you hear
Hi.
me well?
Very well, thank you. Good to hear from you.
And hello, greetings to all the parliamentarians. I wish you a good work. Добрый вечер, с вами русские переводчики Кирилл и Елена. Сегодня будем для вас переводить и также в последующие дни сессию парламента. Как обычно, ничего переключать вам не нужно. Оставайтесь в русском канале. Если какие-то вопросы или замечания у вас будут, пожалуйста, говорите помедленнее. Единственная к вам просьба. Приятного рабочего дня.
Thank you very much indeed. And let's move on to our Spanish interpreters next, please.
Everyone, it is nice to see you all again.
Hi, good to hear from you. Good to hear from you.
Yes, I'm starting today. And yes, estimados parlamentarios, bienvenidos al primer día de esta 12ª sesión del segundo Parlamento de Asgardia. Las traducciones se harán en los idiomas turco, ruso y español de forma simultánea. Tienen la opción de escuchar en su idioma de preferencia, pero el principal es el inglés. Recuerden que cuando vayan a hablar, no tienen que hacer pausas para la traducción, pero sí se les agradece hablar de manera pausada para hacer la mayor interpretación posible. Si tienen algún problema técnico, por favor déjenlo saber en el chat box y Linda se ocupará de ello. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much to our interpreters. Because we have our interpretation system, we save 75% of the time we used to spend with consecutive translation. In the past, we would have English, then Spanish, then Russian, then Turkish. Now it is simultaneous, and that saves us a lot of time, and it makes these sessions far more efficient. 30 minutes of our time now is like 2 hours whenever we had the old translation system. So we are efficient, and I know we will finish within probably this hour. I expect we will, as usual, be about 40 minutes today, something like that. My request to viewers all over the world is this: if you like what you see here, then do think about joining Asgardia, the space nation, as a resident. That's 100 euros per annum. And for that, you become a full resident with voting rights. You can stand for the elections. You can do everything that colleagues here can do. And you will be part of the mission to have the first baby born in space, the first permanent space habitation, a place where people can live their whole lives in terms of the well, in terms of the way that they organize their lives from birth to death. They're big ambitions, but I think we can do them because we have a great team. We have a great team of people working for Asgardia, and of course we have a great team of politicians as well, who have become professional over the years, just simply by learning by doing. So I start with that, and in a moment I will go through the agenda. But just to say, if there are any problems, if you cannot hear something, if you're not sure about the process, please raise your hand. We are a team. This is live, and most importantly, this is unedited. You see our Parliament as it works on the time, as it works ongoing from minute to minute. Now, I will go now through the agenda. So first of all, I'll officially open the voting. That means you can vote for the quorum. You can vote for everything, but we have not discussed everything yet. But you can vote for the quorum. We need to get 50% plus one of parliamentarians to vote. That makes us quorum. So 50% plus one. And that's really very important, because if we don't have a quorum, then our votes don't count. And I think that it's important that our votes do count. Otherwise, our debates are not very helpful. Moving to the agenda then, let me start with today. The procedural issues are the opening of the voting, the quorum. It's technically adoption of the agenda, but that's just the way we describe it. It's really a quorum count. Hopefully you will agree with the agenda, but you can vote against it if you want to, and you can abstain, but please do vote. Then we'll open. Oh, sorry, there's a mistake. Yeah, we're not having a vote on the position of Youth and Education Committee Chair. We've already dealt with that. Sorry, that's my mistake. Then a couple of things about the next days, which I'll come to, a couple of small changes. And hopefully, when we finish today, you will all have voted for or against the agenda. And then we'll close for today. If you have issues you want to raise today, that's A-OK as well. That's absolutely fine. Very happy to hear what you have to say. Very happy for you to make a contribution. Day 2. I'll open with any announcements that we need. That'll just be procedural about things that need to happen tomorrow. Then we're going to go to the Asgardia Opportunities Act. I should explain a couple of things. We haven't currently got a Prime Minister, so we will have a budget report, and I'll come back to that. Normally, we would have the government hour after the opening of the of day 2, but we will come back to that. With the Asgardia Antarctica Territory Act, this has become a very complicated act, and we need more time for it. And so lawyers and professionals are working on it, and we are going to need more time. We might need a separate digital sitting just to discuss that. But it has turned out to be very, very complicated. So it has been decided that we just need to wait a little bit longer on that because of the complexities of the legislation. However, we do move on to the Asgardia Opportunities Act second reading. That will be presented by Mr. John Fine on behalf of Mr. Alexander Melnikov. That's the second reading. Then we have the Asgardia Digital Content Authorization Act, also second reading, also proposed by Mr. Alexander Melnikov and represented by John Fine. Then we have the third reading of the Asgardia Space Debris Mitigation and Management Act, and Ms. Ferda Inan will be presenting that. Also, we'll have the third reading of the Asgardia Space Traffic Management Act. Again, Ms. Ferda Inan will be discussing that. And we'll have the Asgardia Youth and Education Framework Act, third reading, and Sabahattin will be covering that. At 1600 UTC, we will have a budget report from Mark Bogan. To explain the status of the government, we do not have a prime minister, but we do have a government. Some very good work by Mr. Ben Dell and John Fine established that in the Constitution, if the prime minister stands down, moves on, resigns, that does not mean that the parliament, the government itself stops. It just means that we have not got a prime minister. So the ministers are still in position. Things could change. There could be a change in the positions at the request of an incoming prime minister. But for now, those ministers are still in place and they're still doing work. So at around 1600, which I think will be nearly at the end of the day tomorrow. I think we only need 3 hours tomorrow. Then Mark Bogan, the finance minister, will join us and make his presentation. After we've done the legislation and had that presentation and the discussion, which will be in a closed session, I believe. I think we do the budget in a closed session, not because there are terrible secrets, just because it's professional for us to discuss the budget privately. After that, we'll close day 2. Moving to day 3, starting at 1500. Once again, announcements from me. Maybe a guest speaker. I always say, just in case somebody does appear for the guest speaker position, then I'll leave that there. Then we have a new item, a report back from the Legislative Merit Review Group, LMRG. John Fine again. This piece of this committee does pieces of work which are absolutely priceless. They save time, and from now on, they will guarantee that all the legislation is on time as well. I can see how this can work effectively. So we'll get a report from Mr. John Fine. Then we will be discussing, briefly, I'll be talking at some point about the Executive Communications Protocol, just to establish where we are with that. But then we'll have, as usual, the reports from work, the report backs, the work plans of the parliamentary committees. If for any reason you have not submitted one, I think pretty much everybody has. But if you're a chair of a committee and you have not submitted one, please do it now, as soon as we finish today. Those are important to people because it tells us what the committees are doing. And I want everyone to be in the habit of doing those. They're very important. Then, as always, I'll give you the chance to review the timetable for priority acts. And that's your chance to raise legislation you think we need to create. Then, after 1700 UTC, that's 48 hours from the beginning of the session. So it's 47 hours and 41 minutes. The voting closes. And shortly after that, I will sum up the results of the voting, including on the quorum itself. After that, we have closing remarks, national anthem, and then the sitting is closed. So that's what we've got coming up. It's hopefully going to be a productive session. I hope that you'll find this straightforward. Everybody here is now experienced in how the process works. And yes, as I say, in the in the earlier version, it said Mark Bogan. I'm just looking again at the beginning, but Mark Bogan wishes to do it at the time I said. So whenever we get to 1600, we'll stop the proceedings on day 2, and then get him into the system, into the we'll get him into the discussion. So that's what we are doing. The voting is open, but it would be good if you wait till we've had the debates before you actually vote on the legislation. That would help. Are there any questions on that before I move to 3 other items? Okay, good. Thank you. The three things to say. First of all, the Legislative Merit Review Group is a superb committee, really helps a lot, and I want to thank in advance the work that they have done. And I think we can streamline the submission of documents by getting the LMRG to send it as a package, and I'll talk about that with you separately, John. But I think we have a really good positive thing happening there. The second of 3 things is that the financial overview is obviously directly related to how much or little we can do, and the more money we have, the better. So that's not just a theoretical presentation. We need to know where we stand, and we need to discuss how we can make more money for Asgardia, how we can make ourselves rich and Asgardia rich, if you like, in relation to the economic performance of the parliament, of the country. But Parliament has a big role on that, so that's a really important thing to do. And then the final thing is, on the 3rd readings, if we make changes, we have to remove the item and bring it back the next time, unless it's just a small mistake, like a typographical error or something like that. But with 2nd readings, we can pass them even if you want changes, because it's still work in progress. To remind you, we have a 1st reading, core principles, objectives, and a summary of the causes by name. Then we have a 2nd reading where we talk about all the detail of the thing. And then we have a 3rd reading, which should be the final one, which is voted on. So with the 3rd readings, I hope you find them agreeable. Any changes means really by precedent we'll have to come back the next time and vote for them then. But if you're happy with the 3rd readings as they are, then we can vote for them, and that will mean if Parliament votes yes, they've been passed. Just one other thought, which is this is a very big year for us, so let's make the most of it. And everyone's entitled to speak, and please feel free to do so. But I also suggest that if you do speak, just make sure you know what you're saying and why you're saying it. We don't need to have social chat, really. We can be very polite and friendly. We don't need to have too much social chat. Let's focus on the work, and then we'll get through it. It's possible that we'll even have some discussion at some point about the Antarctica Act, but we'll be talking about it in general principles, and I would like to do that on day 3, but we will see. We will see. So just remember, tomorrow we start at 1300, and the voting's open now. So let me open it to everybody else who may want to say something, if anybody does. John, you're looking like, I'm not sure what you're looking like. Looking like you're about to say something, but maybe you're not. That's okay though, if you're not. Okay. Yeah, you are. Okay, John, go ahead. I didn't want to force you into talking. I just,
Well,
you went like this.
I
I thought you.
I was burping.
Oh, sorry. Okay. That's the whole
But,
world knows that now, John. I'm not sure how that translates. Apologies to the interpreters.
Well, I was going to say that yes, we have 2 second readings, and these have gone through a lot of work and a lot of rewrites. They've actually been around a really long time.
Yeah, they have.
Alexander introduced them some time ago, and they were protocols once, and they've they have grown up to be acts now, fully legislative acts. But yes, we certainly those are Trade and Commerce. Those two acts are coming out of the Trade and Commerce Committee, and I am, of course, the chair of Trade and Commerce, and we certainly want everybody's support on those two acts. I will be presenting them. And then now switching my role as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, we have our committee there has two acts that we are committed to, which is the space debris and space traffic management. And those are actually in their third reading, and they're very good, very modern, very forward looking, very adaptable to the what's going on right now in the world. So yeah, and definitely want everybody's support there. And I will be giving a presentation. So you'll see my presentations, but that's only because Alexander wanted me to present his forum, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. And I had actually gone out of my way to make two presentations for the space debris and space traffic because I figure, this is their final, hopefully their final presentation in for the Asgardia Parliament, and I wanted something spectacular. So, because I'm really proud of the legislation that we do. I'm really proud of all the legislation that all the committees do, because it's just not you can't really say enough about how hard our committees work on their legislation and their efforts. And just about every committee now has met the original mandate that was put out by the HON. There may be still a couple that hadn't, but they've got legislation in the works. They're just at a different stage. So, but and I think that's what was important is that initial mandate that the HON put out. He actually put it out in the first Parliament, and I remember when that came out, and then he reiterated it into the second Parliament. But and and basically just framework laws. Trade and Commerce has actually progressed a little further than that, and some of the other committees too, like Equity and Resources, have progressed into something higher than framework laws. But and all the committees will eventually. So, but I just want to say that our committees are very hard at work. Despite all the different what do I say, barriers, I guess, or complications we could have, with language and trying to catch people at the same time zones. Hold on. My phone's talking to me again. I keep shut that thing off, and it gets me every time. But anyway, I just wanted to say that in being the chair of the LMRG, I get to see all these things all at one time, and it's just I am amazed just how sophisticated we have become, and you know even this process we're doing right now with the sessions, compare, because I remember what it was like our first digital session, and that was a whole lot different. So, but yeah, we've gone so far, and so I suspect that we're going to go even further. And And I just want to say, we often people never compliment what's going on. They're always worried about what's not happening. So I just want to take this time to compliment what's going on. So thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Just one point. I'm noticing on the agenda, which is the items for voting, we've got the Opportunities Act, Digital Content Authorization Act, Space Debris Mitigation, and Management Act, Space Traffic Management Act, Youth and Education Framework Act. That's second reading, third reading, third reading, third reading. I need to check. I can't do it now, just in terms of the voting, but you're basically you should be able to vote for the quorum as well, but we'll manage that. So may have to make a small change there. I can't check what it actually says on the actual voting slip. I'm looking at the documents, so we will get that.
Oh, I already checked. It says exactly what you just said.
Okay, so we don't have the quorum vote on that page.
No, you do. Yeah, you vote for you vote for the agenda.
Great, fine, thank you. I'm looking. That's fine. Then it's my fault. That's fine. That is great. Okay, as long as it's there as well, then that's good. That's fine. Okay,
Yep.
Problem solved.
Yep.
And then just the other thing, John is right. I was talking with John, and he said, well, yesterday, and he said this isn't very hard. It is. It is hard. We have grown up while the process has been developed. Now, if you joined Asgardia today, you would find it really complicated because our systems are complex. We try to keep things as simple as we can. Absolutely as simple as we can. But that still has complexity. And that's the issue. That's if you like, the problem in a way. But we still have a simpler process than most political systems, maybe all other political systems. And I would suggest, therefore, our agenda is, and the way that we're operating is really as close as it gets to a perfect democracy. There is no such thing as a perfect democracy, but it's very close to it, and I think that it's really quite exciting to see how advanced we really are. So I'm suggesting that John's right, but I also think we should celebrate how advanced we have become and how we operate. So that's all I had. Yes, it takes about half an hour up to this point. Anybody else want to make any comments or questions? We don't need to have the meeting just for the sake of having the meeting. I would ask you to vote for the I'd ask you to vote for the agenda if that's possible. That would be very helpful. We do need to get that quorum count. That's what really matters here. Okay, good. Let me look ahead. Looking ahead to the future now. Tomorrow we start at 1300 UTC, and we will go through the order of business as I described. At around 1600, I think we will need the 3 hours. I think from 1300 to 1600. We will also have a break in that time. And I try to fix the break for a time which is sensible for large populations of Asgardians. So it's not too early in America, not too late in Asia. So we will have a break at some point then as well. But the most important thing is that we talk about the legislation and then we hear the financial statement tomorrow. If incidentally some other ministers would like to make a presentation, they are welcome to do so. Very happy if a colleague wants to make a presentation. We will have the time. I know that already. That won't be a problem. And I would be grateful then if you tell me you're planning to do it. That's the only thing. Because I'm happy to have a government hour with you if you really want to make a presentation. We've got the time and we've got the team. Okay, so tomorrow we'll start at 1300. And I'll let you know tomorrow if we're going to have a guest speaker on Sunday. But we've got John's interesting presentation. So in a way, John is maybe like the guest speaker on Sunday. When you see how the Legislative Merit Review Group, LMRG, works, you will be impressed. It's a case study in doing legislation correctly, in doing it in a way which is efficient and actually gets good results. Okay, that's all I had for today. Any questions or comments? The person who said, can I call? I will do afterwards, but it won't be straight away. I have to make some calls about the sessions as well. Okay, it'll be, yeah, I'll make the calls. If I'm calling you, I'll be calling you at 1800 UTC about 25 minutes from now. Okay, good. Thank you. So let's stop there for today. It always takes around 40 minutes on day one. Multiply that by 4. That would have been 160 minutes. That would have been in 160 minutes, yeah. So that would have been 2 hours, 40 minutes with the original translation system. So we're making good use of our time, and we're doing more than we used to, more than we did before we had the interpreters doing simultaneous translation. Let me just check in case I have any message from my colleagues. Looks like it's fine. And I'll just check the chat and then we can finish in case there's something there. Do follow the chat. It's always interesting. Yep. Okay. That's fine too. Great. Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of the day. We do the big work tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody, 1300 UTC. Please do make sure that you're there. And let's make sure we got that quorum as well. With that, we can stop the recording. Before you do stop it, remember, please join as a resident of Asgardia. €100 a year. Costs €100 a year. You can pay it in your currency, and then you get all the rights, privileges, the opportunities of being a resident of Asgardia, including running a business and being involved in the politics of it, if you wish. So thank you very much indeed. Have a good rest of the day. Aho, as we say. We're still arguing about which way to do that. And I look forward to seeing you and our interpreters tomorrow. Then we can stop the recording.